Johnson in Washington for this parade. I'll be joined by Christiana Malacara in just a little bit, but right now I'm joined by the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark. Dylan, thank you so much for taking time. I'm sure it's very busy right now.
Yeah, it's been quite the day, but always happy to come on and talk with you. It's nice to actually get to do this side by side for once. Where there are always so many miles in between us, but right now I like getting to sit here with you, and obviously like getting to see all the people here outside the Dow Event Center. This has been a long time coming, and obviously there's going to be a lot of work and a lot of fun coming here in the next 10, 11 days. But this is the start of it all, and for this to be here right now, it's just it's crazy that it's finally here, and it's exciting to see.
Absolutely, it's got to be great to see. There's been so much work that's put into this, and I gotta say, I was surprised to see how many people turned out for this parade.
That's fair to say. I'm not surprised, though. I mean, this has been something that so many people have been anticipating, and I don't mean just the people that have put it together in the organization, in the CHL, in the community, but everybody. This entire town, this entire community, this entire region has been waiting for this with bated breath for a long time, and already it seems to be kind of the spectacle that I think everybody anticipated and wanted to be a part of, and the hope is that, with this hot start and with this kind of this intensity and the numbers here at the beginning, that'll just draw in more people, and everyone's going to get a little bit more curious as time goes on. Like, well, what's going on at the Dow Event Center today? Let's go find out.
Absolutely. The downtown looks fantastic. The Dow looks fantastic. The Jolt Credit Union Event Park looks fantastic. It sounded great. We heard the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra warming up in there just a couple of hours ago. We are going to talk a little bit about all the fun events and activities going on a little bit later, but the reason that I wanted you on was you're the most knowledgeable out of anyone in at least 10 feet about the tournament itself. I see the buses right across from us is the London Knights bus. We've got the Drummondville Voltigeurs and the Saginaw Spirit and the Moose Jaw Warriors just a little bit down the road across the street from us. What are these four teams? Where do they come from? What are they doing here?
So we just had our Meet the Coaches press conference with each of the four head coaches, and that was really our introduction to everybody and kind of the men behind the bench. But so for those that are, again, and it is a little bit different. The tournament layout is a little bit different than any typical OHL playoff or Stanley Cup playoff or anything like that. It's the champions of the member leagues in the CHL. So the Spirit play in the Ontario Hockey League. The Ontario Hockey League is a member league of the CHL, the Canadian Hockey League. And the other two member leagues are the WHL in the West and the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League up in Quebec, obviously. So the champions of those three leagues, they're in the Memorial Cup, obviously Saginaw hosting, and the hope was that the Spirit would be hosting as OHL champions. It didn't fold out that way, but they make it to a good conference final series against London, who goes on to win an OHL championship. So an opportunity for some revenge and in the Spirit mind to right some wrongs here. So these are the champions and a championship caliber team in Saginaw.
And when the Spirit were knocked out, it obviously stung, but I said I want the London Knights to make it. 1, so we get the rematch in the Memorial Cup. 2, so that Saginaw was beaten by the best.
Yeah.
It's one thing to get beaten by second place, but we were beaten by the best, and Saginaw was the only team throughout the playoffs to take a game off London.
Yeah, no, those are all great points. Like, London swept their way through the first round, the second round, and the championship series. They lost 2 games in the Western Conference Final to Saginaw. The Spirit were the only team to take a victory against the London Knights. They did it. They did one here in Saginaw. They still won in London as well. So they've proven that they can win in either building, but obviously for the Memorial Cup, it only matters what you can do at the Dow Event Center. But yeah, so for the Spirit, having this chance against the Knights again, off the charts, massive. And for the Knights, or I guess the fact that it is the Knights, like you said, the Spirit were beaten by the eventual OHL champions. And I think it's important the way that London won. I mean, they swept Oshawa and they beat them 7-1, 8-2.
Yep.
I think they put up a minimum of 7 goals in every game in that sweep. So not only was it a sweep, but it was probably one of the more dominant ones that you're ever going to see. The other sweeps in the Western League and the Quebec League were much tighter games. There were some overtimes in there. So we very well could be looking at a different layout right now as far as how these teams got here. But the point is, the Spirit were far and away the closest as far as competition to London. And I think that's that's something we're going to see. The Spirit have already proven that they can win a game against the London Knights. They've done it twice.
So over the next 10 days, we're going to see all 4 of these teams competing in this tournament, the Memorial Cup. This is the first time it's been held east of the Mississippi in the United States. That's a huge thing. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. But what does the tournament look like? What's the format for those that don't understand it? Because it is a little bit weird.
Yeah, that's for sure. And there's no two ways about that. And I will preface this, the tournament layout is available on the CHL website. So because, having it read to you is one thing, but at least for me, if I can see a chart or something like that, it's like, okay, this is how it works. That helps me a little bit. But so it's 4 teams. They start with a round robin. Everybody plays each other once. So the Spirit play the Moose Jaw Warriors tomorrow. They'll play the Drummondville Voltigeurs 2 days after that, and they'll finish up the round robin with the London Knights on May the 29th. And for those games, a win is worth 2 points, just like it is in the regular season. That's regardless of regulation or overtime win. And the difference between the regular season and the playoffs is you don't get any points for a loss. Regardless of if you get to overtime, doesn't matter. 2 points for a win, none for a loss in any fashion. Overtime in the round robin is continuous 3-on-3. So it's a little bit, it's a mix of playoffs in the fact that it's until you score and then you win the game. But the regular season component is 3-on-3. So mistakes are magnified. And I mean, the Spirit didn't go to very many shootouts this year. I want to say 2.
I think there were 2.
I want to say 2 out of 68 games. So that means that a lot of these overtime games were solved in 5 minutes or less. So I think we're going to see that for the round robin. But for the semifinal and the final, overtime is 5-on-5 for continuous 20-minute periods. But going back to the round robin, 2 points for a win, none for a loss. The seeding at the end of the round robin, if you were the first place team, you're in the final. The second and third place teams play a semifinal. The fourth place team is done. Their tournament's over. If the bottom 2 teams are tied, if 3 and 4 have the same amount of points, there's a play-in game. So there's a potential for an extra game to see who is the third seed. And then if there are ties among teams for points, if there are ties among 3 teams, it gets a little convoluted. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm not even going to try to because that's something that I got to read a few more times to make sure that I'm absolutely rock solid on that before we go into this. But first place team goes to the final. 2 and 3 will play in the semifinal. And if we need a play-in game to make yourself that third place team and get into the semifinal, and then that's it. It's single elimination. So 1 and you're done, and it could be the other side of it, 1 and you're Memorial Cup champions. That's
what we're going to be seeing here over the next 10 days. An exciting time here in Saginaw. Dylan, thank you so much for your time. Get back to running around like a crazy man as all of this comes together.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, but in all the days in my career, which isn't very long as of right now, but of all the days that have been like this with a ton of running around, this is so far, I think this has been my favorite. And we haven't even gotten to play a hockey game yet, so I can't imagine what tomorrow's going to be like. This is fantastic. It's the result of so much work by so many different people and so much support from this entire region. And it's all because of a love of hockey and a respect for those who have served not only our country, but Canada as well. So what a day, and it's just the beginning.
Absolutely. Dylan, thank you very much. Voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark. You'll be able to catch him live casting every single Memorial Cup game on 100.5 FM WSGW. We'll have those games for you also streamed at WSGW.com through the 2024 Memorial Cup presented by Dow. We're sitting at the Jolt Credit Union Event Park right across from the Dow Event Center as the arrival of the Memorial Cup parade is getting set to start here, well, pretty soon here. You know how parades are. It takes a few minutes to get things rolling. We're near the end of the parade route here at the Jolt, right next to where all the teams' buses are parked, right across from us, London, down the road a little bit, the Drummondville Voltigeurs. A little bit further, we've got the Moose Jaw Warriors and the Saginaw Spirit. I can see we have many people tuned in both on the live streams, doubtless a few of those, at least, fans from those Canadian cities. Joining me now, WSGW's Christiana Malakara. Christiana, you've been following what's been going on here downtown.
I have. And there, it's so nice to see everything, like Jillian just said, kind of the kickoff, everything, all the pieces put together. for the community and our friends from Canada. This is amazing to see the community come out in this manner.
Absolutely. We have the streets lined. I had to boost up for our live stream viewers. I had to boost up the camera a little bit because there are so many people that it's blocking part of the view here at the corner of Franklin and Johnson. But it's great to see so many people coming out. It's great to see the support. As Dylan said, the whole region really coming together to support this effort. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He did mention a little bit, and I do want to touch on it, the reason behind the Memorial Cup and the significance of it. It was first dedicated after World War I, created and dedicated to the fallen Canadian soldiers who lost their lives in World War I. It was rededicated in 2010 to all Canadian soldiers who lost their lives. And I think that it is fantastic that the Canadian Hockey League has trusted an American team, has trusted Saginaw with that kind of legacy to honor it, to make sure it's respected. And I think it's awesome that it's falling on America's Memorial, or in line with America's Memorial Day on Monday.
Yes, and I completely agree. So, those are one of those things where we're excited to have that long weekend, but we truly need to think back and what is the definition of this weekend? And it's here and happening today. We're honoring those and then coming together, and that togetherness is across country borders, because we all have very much similarities from country to country, and one is our love and respect for veterans, and the other is hockey.
Absolutely, we love hockey here. We've got that's going to be reflected, that respect for veterans, respect for those who have served. That's going to be reflected in the parade. I've heard military vehicles going to be involved. We're going to have two veterans from the Canadian military, 2 veterans from the U.S. military escorting the cup as it makes its way in. And then as part of the ceremonies at the Jolt Credit Union event park, there's going to be additional recognitions. As I said, we heard the
symphony,
Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra warming up, and we heard "Oh Canada" and the Star Spangled Banner.
We got that beautiful preview, and we even got to meet some of the musicians as they were walking into the area. And I was just stopping a few of them and saying, "Hey, good luck, have fun." And everybody seemed to be equally as excited as very, "Oh, I need to focus. Okay, this is a big deal." So the pressure is on, but they're doing a wonderful job.
Can't wait to hear it. So with this Memorial Cup, obviously we're going to have a heck of a lot of activities going on here in downtown Saginaw. We'll start with what's going to be going on here at the central campus of the Jolt Credit Union event park. There's going to be every single day live entertainment. We're going to have all sorts of games going on. I know there's going to be ball hockey just across the street. Well, you can see, for those of our live stream viewers, right on the other side of that sign, across the street there's a parking lot, and I believe that's where the ball hockey tournaments are going to be taking place. So if you haven't registered for that, if you're here in Saginaw area, I suggest it. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely. We're all going to have to at least make a day as a community, come out here and spend at least a day. If you weren't planning on coming to a game, there's plenty of other things that are happening. So we're here looking at the schedule, and there is family fun with synthetic ice skating. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, we had one of our guys go over and look at it. He heard synthetic ice. What is that? And he had to go over and check it out for himself. Sounds like an interesting time there. If you can't hit the ice at the Dow Event Center, well, you can hit the ice near the Dow Event Center.
There you go.
Even when it's 80 degrees in May here. We've got the Hockey Hall of Fame. That's going to be presented by TriStar Trust. That will be inside the Dow Event Center. We're going to have all sorts of great activities going on in there. And then we have to mention, just at the Temple Theater across the street, just a little ways away, we're going to have the Spirit Rising watch parties going on and an NHL jersey auction. Those are presented by Alpha Media as well. We'll talk a little bit more about some of these events and activities, but as I'm sure you can hear in the background, perhaps we have some sirens going on. We can see the parade has begun. I can see a fire truck that will be coming around the corner shortly here. And
right on schedule, too. It's 4:30.
Hey, look at that. Maybe they were ahead of schedule because it did start a little ways down Washington there on the other side of 675. So certainly an exciting time. I see people are moving
They're moving
a lot
out.
more. There's
Yep.
a lot more movement, craning necks, trying to get that first look at everything as it comes on in. I see
This is exciting stuff, though. This is, like you said, once in a lifetime. So there's a lot of people out here just coming together. I saw a lot of volunteers, a lot of moms with strollers, just the whole spectrum of people ready to gather and welcome in the trophy. And
very
everyone that comes
reflective
along with it.
of the Saginaw community. I think that's something that strikes me a lot, is the Spirit have a fantastic fan base, and the whole community has come around this and really rallied behind the effort to hosting this 2024 Memorial Cup presented by Dow. The sirens are getting a little bit louder here, as you can undoubtedly notice in the background. And we see them coming on down Johnson now. They've turned the corner, making their way in. I believe the sheriff's vehicle is leading the way, possibly along with Michigan State Police. I believe we're supposed to be included in that as well. As they start to make their way around the corner here, I do see on the back of a fire, was it on the fire truck? I don't see it anymore. I saw the American-Canadian flags waving, but I don't see them anymore. There we go.
There we go.
They're coming around the corner now. We can see them a little bit better. It's going to get loud. We have 2 Saginaw police vehicles making their way and leading the way. Oh, it's not on the fire truck. They're being carried. It appears there's an honor guard following the fire truck here at the lead of the parade, making sure everybody stays out of the way.
Ooh,
we did have people in front. We'll leave you to hear the sounds of this as they go by.
And there's Saginaw's finest.
Saginaw's finest
There
leading
we
the
go.
way. Absolutely. We have the Saginaw Fire Department following up.
Yes.
They've got the Spirit flag out the window representing.
I think I've seen these guys at a game before. Big fan.
I talked with one. They've got season tickets that they rotate between members of the department. So they make their way in. And now we have an honor guard or color guard with the American, Canadian, and I think that's the United States. Oh, no, that's Michigan.
That's Michigan's flag.
Coming on through.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
And there's the sheriff. I see him.
There
at
we
the
go.
corner now.
Is he dancing?
I
think he's dancing.
I don't hear any music to dance along to, but maybe we'll get some Whitney Houston.
There we go.
Playing.
Oh man. Oh, you got plenty of mics here. I feel like we can set up a karaoke pretty quick.
I hear the drum corps coming around. Man, that sounds great. I love drum corps.
Me too. You know, that's really what gets you going and motivated, right?
Yeah. It's fantastic.
That means something good's gonna happen.
Sheriff Bill Federspiel. We've got a banner here that says, "Thank you, Saginaw County Commissioners," because it did. The Dow Event Center is a Saginaw County building. It took an effort from the county to really make this happen, and they did a fantastic job supporting this, especially a lot of the improvements that it took to the Dow Event Center to host this and put this together. Millions of dollars went into this effort, and a lot of it thanks to the County of Saginaw.
All right, now here we go. Here's some drums. Let's see. This is the
Saginaw United High School Band. Yes. Leading the way, followed by the Moose Jaw Warriors, making their way in. Behind the Moose Jaw Warriors, the champions of the Ontario Hockey League, the London Knights, who are taking the rest of the parade off. They're making their way straight to their bus right across the street from us.
Ready to put their game faces on.
No complaints here. Following the Knights, the champions of the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League, we have the Drummondville Voltigeurs right behind them. They're making their way off as well towards the buses. Good to see them honored in this way as well. They've certainly earned it. Great efforts from all of these teams.
All of the teams, yes. Everybody's worked very, very hard all season long to be here and beyond that.
And the the finals, the playoffs as well. Right behind them, your Saginaw Spirit, the hometown team, the hosts of the 2024 Memorial Cup presented by Dow. You can hear the cheers from the crowd as they make their way through. I'd be cheering if I didn't have a microphone right in front of me because I'm certainly a very big fan.
We all know Jonathan.
Oh, yes. Sammy Spirit bringing up the rear on the Garber fan Boney.
There we go.
Pumping up the crowd. The Spirit Warriors hockey program. These are veterans.
And look at those nice jerseys there.
They look fantastic.
Yeah, they look.
A big part of the Saginaw Spirit is honoring veterans. We have the veteran of the game every single game. At home games, we have the Spirit Warriors hockey team. It's great to see that represented here.
And there is the fan Boney.
There's the fan Boney.
Garber.
Saginaw Spirit and Bert riding along.
Wow, look at them.
And now we have some more of that military recognition coming in. I haven't seen the Memorial Cup yet.
No, not yet. Very excited to. Okay, let's see. What's this? The U.S. Army.
U.S. Army. Some kind of track
this is
vehicle.
unique.
I don't know what this is.
No. Unique.
This is awesome. Making its way down.
All right, and here we go. Student Veterans of America.
SVSU. Fantastic to see them represented here.
Next up is the Canadian flag. And following it is the American flag.
Oh, Henry the hockey dog.
Yep, he just crashed the party here.
The Canadian flag making its way past, escorted by Henry the hockey dog, of course.
It looks like we have some youth here. Some youth holding the flag.
That's good to see.
That incorporation is really nice.
The American flag right behind. I did see when the Moose Jaw Warriors made their way to the airport, they were escorted by bagpipers.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't know if it was fans or
and look at this. We have some
official.
Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts of America pulling the American flag.
That's awesome to see.
Another great tie-in.
SVSU Cardinal Marching Band coming up next. Good to see the flag twirlers leading the way here. Party in the USA. It's going to be a party in Saginaw, Michigan, USA over the next 10 days here.
Oh, they look fantastic.
They look great. They sound better.
Definitely.
Fantastic to see SVSU coming out to support.
What do we have here?
Another military vehicle, something larger than what we had previously, making its way in. Obviously, as we mentioned earlier, military recognition, military honor is a big part of the Memorial Cup celebration, and good to see that reflected here. We have some more vehicles coming in. Those of you on the stream have a pretty good look at it. Here, I'll turn it a little bit. You might have to get a look at the London bus, but that's okay. We're not affiliated with the league. We can say that kind of thing.
I'll just block that. That part out. That's all
right. And there is the Memorial Cup. I see it being pulled along. Yes, it's the next vehicle up there.
All righty.
I saw it as it was rounding the corner.
And let's see who is in there.
It's someone.
Let's see.
Is that Craig Goslin?
That is Craig Goslin, the sitting shotgun. Yep, there
Spirit
we go.
President and managing partner, Craig Goslin, making sure the Memorial Cup makes its way safely through the streets of Saginaw here as it comes on in. Those of you on the live stream can see it just fine. Fantastic. They parked right in front of the London bus, too. That's a little bit of a bonus.
Wow, they really have that thing strapped down, too.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not moving.
Got to make sure it's safe.
Yes.
Yeah. Represents a lot there.
Wow.
I can already see people making their way into the Jolt Credit Union Event Park for a lot of the festivities that are going to take place. They're making their way towards the entrance. Henry, the hockey dog,
He's back again.
doesn't want to miss his entrance, of course. As
There
he
it
makes his way
goes.
in. And that will conclude just about the arrival of the Cup Parade for the 2024 Memorial Cup. Festivities will follow at the Jolt Credit Union Event Park. If you weren't able to join us for the parade, we certainly hope that you can join us downtown Saginaw for those. Plenty more to come. We heard some great singing, some great music, some fantastic attractions on site for that as well.
It was a short parade, but every part of it really reflected, Saginaw and the coming together of unity and just the whole thing. United we soar. That's what we're talking about here.
Fantastic. I see Dylan Clark. He's trying to escape from me, but I want him to come here for just for one quick second here. Dylan, as you join us here, it's officially started. The 2024 Memorial Cup. That was the arrival of the Cup. It has arrived.
The Cup has arrived.
We're here. Let the fun begin.
It's fantastic. And I know everybody's going to go into the Jolt Credit Union Event Park now. The Fan Fest, UA Local 85 Fan Fest is underway as well. I think with the Memorial Cup passing the Dow Event Center, that's it. That's the start of this whole thing. And, we're sitting across from the row of flags out front of the Dow. You got the U.S. and the Canadian flag right next to one another. And I just happened to look up to that as we started talking about this. So I'd say that's pretty fitting.
Absolutely. A lot of work went into this. A lot of work still to come, but it's definitely it's going to be a spectacular 10 days.
Yeah, no, it's going to be this is going to be something that we look back on, I think, for the rest of our lives. And everybody that's a part of it in any way, and anybody that comes out and is a fan of it, there's always I think in anybody that becomes a hockey fan, there's always there's a start to it. Like there is a definitive start point to where you go from, oh yeah, all right, this is cool, whatever. I like cars are cool, okay, whatever. Baseball's cool, whatever. Yeah. But there's a line when it crosses over to hockey's something I like to hockey's something that I absolutely love, and it's going to be a part of my life forever. And for a lot of people, I think it's going to be this. And for everybody that is already at that point, like I said, they've got that moment or that stretch of time where it becomes something that's truly a part of them. And that's the hope that for the people that haven't gotten there yet, that's what happens to them in the next 10 days.
Lots of hockey fans here in Saginaw, lots of hockey fans visiting Saginaw over the next 10 days. And we look forward to hearing you casting every single game for us.
Yep. I'm going to start slamming tea and cough drops like it's my job.
Absolutely. It is your job.
It is my job. I was just about to say, it is my job.
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll bring Christiana back in here. We do want to highlight, we got started and we got so rudely interrupted by the parade, the whole reason that we were here. But we do want to highlight some of these events and activities that are going to be going on. We mentioned the Fan Fest at the Jolt Credit Union Event Park, presented by, the beginning is LiUNA, and then the Fan Fest presented by, it's escaping me now. Dylan said it, and he did such a great job saying it too. The UA Local 85, that's who it's presented by.
Yes, he is great. Dylan normally does play-by-plays, so he's done every single game, right?
Yep.
For the Saginaw Spirits, and then he's moved into the Memorial Cup, and I must say he's top-notch.
He is.
He's top-notch.
I gotta say, I worked with his predecessor for a little bit, and he helped get me into the whole live broadcasting thing.
Wow.
And Dylan is a fantastic talent. He's great to have, and I couldn't think of anyone better to be calling Spirit games for this Memorial Cup, for this season, unlike any other.
Yes, perfectly put. So there are a lot of activities happening every single day here in downtown Saginaw, and if you haven't come across one of these booklets, you need one. And they're everywhere. Anywhere you go in Saginaw, you're gonna find one of these booklets. So tomorrow, like we were saying, the synthetic ice. There's also going to be a food truck alley.
That's going to be all tournament long.
Every day. Every day. That is going to be the go-to place if you're looking for food. Live entertainment. So tomorrow is Street Stone Revival starting at 4:30. Stone Street Revival starting here at 4:30. And then what else do we have?
Tomorrow is going to be Shakedown, a Bob Seger experience. We will be out here actually.
Yes.
Well, you might not be.
No, you will.
You can try. I will be out here at the Jolt for Shakedown, a Bob Seger experience. And then we'll also be out here on Tuesday for the Jedi Mind Trip concert that will be going on as well. So live concerts, live entertainment. We've got games, all sorts of things. And Christiana, we need to highlight this. We can you can get one of these booklets that tells you what's going on at the Jolt Credit Union Event Park. As Christiana said, they are everywhere, but there's so much going on around downtown Saginaw. Let's start with something that you're involved with.
Yes. So I'm going to review a few things that you're not going to find them in the booklet. And one of them is a Latin Corner. That is going to be presented by Lead Saginaw, which is a local nonprofit. And that's going to be right here at Morley Plaza. That starts tomorrow. It's just going to be a weekend thing. So this weekend and then the following, Morley Plaza is located here at 133 North Washington. That space is going to have a kid zone, music, vendors, and just actually a really great place to stop walking when you're walking from to and from Dow Event Center. Between there and the SVRC building, there is going to be happenings there as well. They're calling it Shop Seasonal Saginaw, Sensational Saginaw, and they're going to have shopping, vendors, entertainment, and then their normal food vendors that they have there as well.
There's some good stuff at SVRC. So if you are a visitor in Saginaw, or if you're an area resident and you're trying to be a tourist in your own community, that's a phrase I've heard thrown around a lot. I would recommend take a bus to SVRC. Yes. Buses are free in the downtown Saginaw area. Stars is doing a great job with that. We're excited to see that. Yeah. So start at SVRC, walk down to the Morley Plaza, and then keep heading up, and then you'll eventually get to the Jolt Park. Well, if you keep heading up, you'll pass by the Temple Theater, where there's going to be screenings of Spirit Rising. It's a docuseries by the CHL and Go Great Lakes Bay Convention and Visitors Bureau. That's presented by Alpha Media. There is also an NHL jersey auction. I've heard the possibility that there may be signed jerseys in there. Even if you're not going to buy one, I would say swing by. I plan on swinging by. I don't have that kind of a wallet in my back pocket, but I plan on swinging by because it's going to be so cool. Take a couple pictures. It'll be fun. It'll be cool. Fun. Yes. So those are some good places to stop. Also, a few things that are happening here. There's also going to be a memorial block party happening, and that's going to be a market, food, and also a truck rally. And that is going to take place on the corner of Federal and Balm Street here in Saginaw from noon until 7 on the 28th through the 1st of June. So that's pretty exciting as well. And then the other is the Hare Hut. Have you heard of that? This is my favorite thing. I love this. What? It's the Hare Hunt. I love this thing. So there are rabbit statues scattered all over Saginaw County, and it is on you to locate them all and enter for a chance to win some fantastic prizes. I talked a little bit with Cassie Zimmerman about it. She was on with Art Lewis earlier today, and it sounds like a great time. Do you know how many hares there are? 7. No, there's more? There's 20. There's 20. There's 20. Whoa. This is a taller task than I thought it was going to be. Yes, it is. It is. So another excuse to get out and experience what's going on around the area. This is really a regional experience. There's going to be shuttles running to Bay City, to Midland, to Frankenmuth. It's going to be a fantastic time. Christiana, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our broadcast today has been brought to you by Forward Convenience and Forward Energy. Thank you so much to them. And let's gear up for an exciting 10 days here for the 2024 Memorial Cup presented by Dow. I'm Jonathan Dent for Christiana Malacara, for Dylan Clark, and for all of us with Alpha Media. We want to say thank you for tuning in. We now return to regular programming on WSGW. Are we clear?